This is the perfect example of why you can't trust mainstream Western media. Take a look at these two headlines, one from CNN and one from Haaretz. These are both covering the same event, but their headlines say completely opposite things. And this is why it feels like you're going crazy sometimes, because our media is literally gaslighting us every single day. They're trying to make you think that what you're seeing and hearing with your own eyes and ears is not reality. And mainstream media is working overtime, working hand in hand with the government to try to whitewash the genocide and make it seem like that Hamas is the one standing in the way of a ceasefire. And if you only read the headline, which is what they expect, that is the natural conclusion to come to. And let's put aside the fact that Hamas has accepted a ceasefire deal months ago, or the fact that Israel assassinated their political leader and the top negotiator on their side. Putting all of that aside, let's actually see what the content of this deal was. This new proposal had no requirement for Israel to leave Gaza. It didn't require them to stop fighting or stop bombing. It also gave them control of Gaza's borders and the Netzarim corridor that splits Gaza in half. And there was no release of the thousands of Palestinian hostages that Israel has right now. Literally every single thing that Hamas has been demanding and that was inside the last version of the ceasefire deal has been taken out. Like, they're literally taking out the ceasefire part of the ceasefire deal. And it's being reported that Israel added these new demands, which the US gave them, knowing that Hamas would reject the deal. And even Netanyahu himself has been on camera saying that he would not accept any deal that required them to stop fighting. So I don't really know how much clearer things can be, and yet we still have mainstream media trying to gaslight us and trying to make us believe otherwise. And this is why it's so important to diversify where you are getting your news and not to only rely on Western mainstream sources, because you will never get the full picture. Never forget that almost everything you see in this country is controlled by the same handful of greedy billionaires, and they don't care about the truth. They just care about making money. And at this point, two things are extremely clear. One, these are not real negotiations. This is just Blinken and the Biden administration providing cover for a genocide. And two, there's only one way that this genocide ends, and it's from the heart of America. Israel has made it extremely clear that they have no intention of a ceasefire, so that means the only way to stop this is to stop the flow of US weapons. It's with the full arms embargo. And that's really not asking for much. We're just asking for the US to follow their own laws. But the only way to make that happen is to keep applying pressure to all of the candidates who are running for any sort of office and make it clear that genocide is a red line, because our power as voters is deciding what is and what isn't electable. These people need our votes, so make them work for it. So if you made it this far in this video, please do at least one thing in support of a free Palestine. I have a public action toolkit as well as 3-minute tasks in my link tree that you can do today, especially contacting your representatives and letting them know that your vote in November hinges on an arms embargo against Israel. Additionally, please continue boycotting every single Israeli brand or anyone who is supporting the Israeli occupation. There's a BDS guide as well in my link tree that you can take a look at to see the brands that we are all boycotting. And also, if you're in the position to donate monetarily, please consider buying and donating an eSIM to somebody in Gaza to help them get connected to the internet. This is a vital way for them to not only stay in contact with each other, but for us in the West to see what's happening. And lastly, this is the best time to get out there and start connecting with local organizations that are near you and attend some sort of protest or a banner drop or some other kind of action. The way this all ends is in the streets. It's through building coalitions and solidarity with every other movement in this country. Because the existence of a state like Israel is a danger to all movements around the world.